No, door don't open. Just be happy the character doesn't stop and genuflex every room, every room transition. I mean, it could be like playing the old fixed camera perspective games where you enter a new room and then your character just spins in a 180 position in place and walks back out because you're holding that direction on the controller. Looking at you, old Resident Evil games. End Fatal Frame 1 and 2. I go through this door.
Jesus Christ. Oh God. Help! I need help!
Just ignore the hanging bodies? I mean, if you're in a haunted house, yes!
Finally found me. I was feverish, dehydrated, and terrified. But alive. I don't remember much about the ride to the hospital, but I did mumble.
Well, that cop car is doing some crazy stuff in perspective.
I had heard it. The endless, grim song it played wouldn't stop hammering in my brain. I would even swear I'd seen it there on the table, on the other side of the mirror. No, impossible.
So this music box has
It was just a hallucination.
extra-dimensional space attached to it?
I needed to rest. That was all. Just rest.
Just rest, just rest. Poor Daniel, his boss, ex-wife, and a security advisor for the company that has security systems in his house, all dead. It wasn't even his house.
Where am I?
Hey, at least the extra-dimensional haunted space has health insurance and healthcare systems in place. Help, he screams, in a house completely empty except for death ghosts. Yeah, who heard his cry for help? Episode 2, eerily quiet. It would have been an amazing fake trailer, right? But it's real! That's the thing, it's a real movie! Oh no, he's in the Silent Hill Hospital!
Where am I?
But at least he's receiving medical attention, right? Like, you can't really expect that from ghosts and demons. So the fact that he's actually receiving treatment's good.
Of slumber will be granting us an audience. How are you feeling, Your Highness?
Ooh.
I had a dream. I'm okay. Thanks for coming, Lydia.
Good afternoon, Mr. Neuer. I am Alexander Laskin. I work for the Husha family.
He's the one who found you.
Oh,
So the cutscene would have been different if he died.
thank you very much, Mr. Laskin. Without you, I don't know.
The pleasure is
Oh, this is inspired by Silent Hill, interesting.
I'd like to help you find Mr. Sebastian. I need to know what happened to him and to my wife.
Of course. I'm feeling much better. In fact, I was considering leaving here as soon as possible, and
Daniel, the doctor said you need complete rest. Complete.
I'm fine. Really. I found this. Apparently,
Where were you
Hush
keeping
received a
that?
music box from an acquaintance of his, a certain Mr.
My wife!
It
It's always
seems
my
as though
wife.
He was researching the music box when he vanished. And from what Faber says, the music box may be related to everything that has happened.
I'm not sure we should.
He did say, my wife.
After everything that's occurred.
Resident Evil 7 gave us a lot of bad running jokes.
The box that Faber describes in this letter, but it wasn't really there. It was as if it were on the other side of... Oh. I think we should pay a visit to this Faber and ask him about the music box and Hush.
Faber.
He has a shop in the city not far from here.
Daniel, please.
I'm fine, really. I think going to a shop and asking the owner a few questions falls within the range of what we can do, don't you?
It wasn't. And later, ghosts. You would have had a lot more people in your cutscene, and it would have been very different. Oh, if I didn't, like, senselessly slaughter my cast. Game has great replayability. You'll get different cutscenes depending on who survives and who you find what with. Interesting. Erica manages the Farber & Sons antique shop, along with her father, Isaac. If he's the art expert, she's the managing brains. I like her headphones. We got a cop? And he'll die one, too. Whoa. Rene was born to be a cop, and he'll die one, too. Born in the Caribbean, he grew disillusioned with the police department in his hometown, and set sail for Europe, where he thought his integrity and sense of duty would serve him better. But the grass wasn't as green as it seemed. Tired of moving around, Rene decided to settle down and do what he could to help his new fellow citizens. Holstered and secured, as per safety regulations, I hope I never have to use it. So this man has a gun. Come on, put my life in danger, I need it. I need the rush. My only real quibbles with this game is, like, they do have cutscenes, and I like the variability that's going on. I just wish there was a little bit more structure around why certain characters do things. Like, the lady who comes to check the security alarm, you know? She shows up, she checks the box, and it's like, alright, I fixed the security alarm. Why does she stick around in the house? Why does she search for things? Why does she do any of the things she does? Like, just having the door lock behind her so she's stuck inside would have been enough. He chose the cop? Was that the wrong answer? He has a gun! Many things have a weakness to bullets. Like, is he just here on a routine patrol and he's gonna start doing an investigation? Cop first, bold choice. I hope whatever's under that flower pot is not the shop to the key. Key to the shop. It'd be majorly unadvisable to leave it there. An old key found in her flower pot. These guys. They even labeled it antique shop. They're just asking to be robbed. Trying to figure out if there's a way for me to rotate it so we can see antique shop right side up. Bold choice choosing the cop first. Sometimes characters, when they die, become very dangerous to the ones after them. Ah, interesting. List of items that can be found in the shop. It's quite well stocked. Pro tip, don't die. I got some bad news for you. If only I had the enforcer with me. Why are you breaking into the shop? Go on with the investigation. I just want to know why he's investigating. Just give me one little line of dialogue. Like, I was hired to investigate this shop because of a missing persons report. An umbrella stand filled with dry umbrellas. They haven't been used today. Could somebody still be inside the shop? Because what he's doing right now, very illegal. He hasn't announced his presence. He hasn't identified himself as a police officer. He entered without a warrant.
Everything seems to be in order and quiet, but I'd better check things out in here.
Standard cop check. Ba-dum-psh. Items on display for sale. Nothing out of the ordinary. Hey, his bio specifically said he was fed up with bad cops and he wanted to be a better cop. He 100% is investigating because neighbors have heard screaming, but haven't seen anyone coming and going. Interesting. Like, that wasn't mentioned on his little character scripts earlier. When do we find that out? A telescope. Unfortunately, I know more perverts that use them to spy on their neighbors than astronomy fans that use them to gaze at the stars. Oh my god, Goltar! Usually these are called Zoltan. Game for fairs and amusement parks. I don't like the dull or the light, none of it. Well, now we know this movie's inspired by the movie Big. Oh my god. I haven't considered many plot points of that movie since I was a child when I saw it. As an adult, I realize now that movie is messed up. A woman has sex with Tom Hanks when he looks like an adult, but he's a 12-year-old boy who was made large because of a Zoltan figure. That's gross! I didn't think about that until just now. Ew. Sprinkle some crack on him. Check your quest log, I'm sure it says find minority assault, place drugs. South Park cop.jpg. I can't find it. I can't remember where I stored that blasted music box. I thought I left it with the rest of the lot, didn't I? Yes. Otherwise, where could it be? In this lot, there was also a wardrobe full of dry blood stains. We took it out into the courtyard and dragged it to one of our storage rooms in the basement, but which one did we place it in? I can't even remember what color or shape it was. What's wrong with me? Could I possibly reveal the blood left behind somehow? I would have to buy luminol, right? That's what the police use. Perhaps that way I could find the lot of products containing the wardrobe and the box with it. Sebastian says I must return it to original owners, the Grant Amsberg family. If I can manage that, will this madness come to an end? Does she know that's what happens? I believe at the end of the movie she figures it out. No, I think she finds out earlier than that. Oh no, I'm trying to remember if she finds out before or after they do the deed. The cash register's ancient. I hope they take out the money every evening, because opening it would be no challenge whatsoever to a thief. A switch for electrical devices. I need a special key to turn it on. I was about to make a joke with, even on this small box, he couldn't find the clitoris. Not all of the objects on these shelves are antiques. Some are customer information cards and order forms. No smoking. This movie sounds terrible. You've never seen Big? Sorry, I'm a movie person, so I've seen too many movies, especially movies made in the 80s and 90s. A wire coat hanger. Big is a Tom Hanks movie where a kid is like fed up with being a kid. So one day when he's at a park, a fair, he finds one of those Zoltan machines and he says, I wish I was big. And the next morning he wakes up as an adult Tom Hanks. Which of course prompts his family to be like, what'd you do with our son, you pervert? Oh, good lord! And he runs out of the house. And then through wacky hijinks and misunderstandings, he manages to become like the head toy designer for a toy company. And behaves exactly like a child, so even if you were to meet this man and you're like a lady, you wouldn't be like, oh, what a sexy dude. You'd be like, I think this man has a developmental disorder and believes he's a child. But her reaction was, oh, hell yeah, he doesn't believe in rules. I'm gonna bang this guy. On a bunk bed, by the way. On a bunk bed. Gallery, door closed to enter, ask at the counter. Well, now that we've covered the movie Big and the weird sexual situation that happens in that movie, let's play this horror video game. A security door. There's no way I could force this thing open. I specialize in horror movies from the 80s and 90s, but I also watch movies that are just horrifying. You've seen the movie with Robin Williams running a toy company. That one is, oh, I forgot the name of that one. It wasn't just Toys, was it? It might have just been called Toys. That one's less creepy. This movie would have been hilarious. Big? It's a real movie. A guitar. Don't see the price around here anywhere, but it isn't exactly at the top of my shopping list. Empty old suitcase. Looks like one my parents lent me when I lived in Europe. Feels like a lifetime ago. Ancient spyglass. Not too shabby as a decorative piece, but I find it magnifies much. I doubt it magnifies much. Yeah, it was called Toys, I think, the Robin Williams one. I hope this can is not working. Selling it to a civilian would be a terribly irresponsible mistake. I hope it does work. Straight through the heart. A Jack-in-the-Box. Who buys this kind of stuff? Hey, that's the same type of Jack-in-the-Box we saw in the house. Now we know where those creepy-ass toys came from. Some of these things are really expensive. I imagine it's because they're techniques. Antiques, good lord. I swear I know how to read. Hope this cannon's not working. Yeah, I just read that one. Box full of vases. Looks like they were left here unpacked. Everything's in quite good shape, except that mirror. Man, people really hate mirrors. Press a full set of armor. Gotta take a leak. Spray bottle. It once held a dangerous substance. Put that in my pocket. Gonna need that later. Mirror's broken. Towels for customers covered in dust. Either there aren't many customers or the store's been closed for days. Out of curiosity, since... Oh, Bloodsin says wait. Alright, I'll go back in the bathroom for you. Did you get the haikus? In the house, as part of Chapter 1, I got a couple of haikus. I got 2 of them, I believe, in the last chapter. I thought you meant there's a haiku in the bathroom for a second. I sit, and I poop. I can't make a haiku off the top of my head, apparently. A weapon should not be used as decoration. It just sends the wrong message. Man, this guy has a lot of opinions. Alright, I got a hiding place. I got 2 puzzles over there. I didn't even notice there were 2 puzzles. Well, crap, says Bloodsend. I get the impression we're not going to have a happy time in this chapter. You better not tell me we can't win because we didn't get the haikus. There are collectibles each level that do certain helpful things. Yeah, I got 2 haikus in the last area. Oh. Oh, camera. That is not where I expected my character to be going at the moment. Since we were talking about weird movies earlier, out of curiosity, has anyone seen any of the Trancer movies? We have a thick key. Specific key, not that one. Coat hanger. Nope. Let you know 3 hints each level that can save you from death. I sit and I poop, but not in the correct bowl. The water is brown. You have to collect all the collectibles, all 3 haikus in this case, to use them later. Oh, well, I missed 1 haiku. Did you find your hiding spot in this room? Yeah, I got the little eyeballs shape over there. Oh, don't much care for these machines. Alright. Got a door with an X on it. Oh, there's a door next to the bathroom I didn't open? I'll come back for it. Going upstairs for now. No, but the name is good. Trancers, let me tell you. You would never guess what the movie's about, based on the name. Miscellaneous items on display, including 2 Japanese swords. I hope they watch out to prevent any customers from climbing up to grab one. Koltar coins, alright. You start school August 3rd. Oof. Like physically going into classrooms August 1st? They don't require a mask because Georgia. Boy. Judging by the display, this document should be important. Although if it were really valuable, they'd keep it under lock and key. Yeah, R.A.P. Wirt. Maybe you should wear a mask, Wirt. Other people might not, but maybe you should. Man, it's gonna be a mess in America in a month or so. Boy howdy. There's an online option where you may want to look into that one. There are figures and papers amidst all these old books. Yeah, do the online option. I was chatting with my friend who, very much like a conspiracy nut a lot of the time. And he's trying to figure out, like, what sinister plot all of this is, and I was like, I don't know if it's necessarily sinister. I really think it's more of a bunch of people in position of power are like, yeah, let's play this like a simulation, but we're gonna play it where we just want to go for high scores in terms of deaths. It's like me playing a management game. Masks have been shown to help you not get as severely sick if you're wearing a mask when you got it. Not to mention, like, everyone that likes trying to discredit masks are like, oh, but viruses are so small, they go through masks. It's like, that's not the point. The idea is, when you talk, you don't just eject a cloud of virus. Like, it doesn't just, yeah, viruses come out. When you talk, little spittle droplets come out that carry the virus. And a mask, if you're wearing one, keeps all of that in your mask. My favorite comparison point is, imagine a naked man walks up to you, and you're also naked, and he starts peeing on you. You're getting 100% of the pee hitting your leg. Now, if you're wearing pants, and he pees on you, a decent amount of that pee is getting through to your leg, but at least you have some pants in the way. Now, if you put pants on him, he's just peeing on himself, and you get no pee on you. That's how the masks are supposed to work. If two people are wearing masks, or in this case pants, and one of them starts peeing, only the man peeing gets covered in pee. The table's covered with the shop's sales materials. There's space underneath it, though. It's his right as an American for his penis to have clean, fresh air and to have a nice, gentle breeze waft through the tousled pubic hair that caps that penis. Would be the argument someone else would make, to which everyone else says, put it away! Alright, keep it in there. Masks help keep you from getting sick. Masks have been shown to get you less sick. Masks are helpful, and they help prevent the spread. It's very important. An old suit of armor made entirely of wood. Pretty impressive. Interesting. It looks like there's something in his mouth. Just wear a goddamn mask, basically. I could try to pry this thing out of its mouth. Should I? I don't see why not. Bronze Kultar token. Alright, we got one of our special coins. Dicks out for COVID. No, put them away. Put them away. They check temperatures before you go in, that's one thing. Unfortunately, the temperature check thing is security theater. Like, if you're asymptomatic and you are a disease spreader, a vector, and someone checks your temperature, you wouldn't be all that above the normal. People have general fluctuations. If you're early or late in your process, you might not have a fever. It's just a thing they put in place to, like, make you feel safer. Like the TSA, exactly, Sally. There's actually a really fun video on security theater by Wisecrack, if you like Wisecrack. I love Wisecrack. They're a channel that Andrew introduced me to, and I think their videos are phenomenal. Well-organized books. Ooh, a drawer closed with a high-security steel lock. Hope they don't store any money in there. It would not be safe, but it's a high-security steel lock. How much safer do you need it to be, buddy? That is not helpful. That is not helpful. You're surprised they would even do it? With the Georgian government? That's the thing. Like, a step like that is... It is a cheap way to make people think they're safer without actually having to inconvenience or do anything that is hard. Which is kind of the problem. It's just theater, you know? Oh yeah, no, we're definitely number one. You wouldn't be caught dead wearing masks. Oh my god. Like, it drives me insane. Mostly in the, like, why do we even have experts if we're not going to listen to experts when it counts? That's the main thing that drives me nuts. And people are like, oh, you know, the rate of infection's so low and, you know, only so many people die. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't sound bad when you're looking at numbers in such a abstract sense. But, like, let's put it another way. The number of deaths on a daily basis is the equivalent of, you know, it's somewhere in the range of 50 commercial airline flights worth of people. So if you put it in terms of every day 50 planes are crashing and everyone on board is dying, suddenly it's like, oh shit, 50 planes, I'm never gonna fly again. People would be so pissed at the idea of planes dropping out of the sky at that rate that they would be like, we gotta do something. There would be a call for changing policies, for investigations, flights would be canceled entirely. But we're not looking at it in terms of those kinds of numbers for some reason. We're looking at it in terms of, like, teeny tiny percentiles when you're looking at an entire global population. Great. Not helpful to look at it that way. Yes, they just be like, oh yeah, people who wear masks are shown to have, on average, 15% larger penises. Mask wearing shown to increase your attractiveness by 35%. Yeah, I find it helps to, like, when people are talking about abstract numbers, to put them in terms that are a little bit more relatable. Like, when we're talking about deaths, we should be talking about them in ways that, like, here's a number that people usually react pretty severely to. Plane crashes. Yeah, like, your whole school's worth of people died today, stuff like that. Have I gone through that door? No, not yet. Alright, let's go through this door. Oh, I thought that was a symbol for you could check it. It's just a light reflection. Oh, here we go. Dear Isaac, I'm sorry about your trouble getting to sleep. If it's any consolation, I've been suffering the same plight recently myself, perhaps due to the imminent proofreading of my novel. If quality can be measured by the time invested, it should be one of my finest works. However, I suspect that this is not always the case. Despite everything, I've found a bit of time to look into a mysterious music box. Based on the carving and the wood, I'm certain that it's European. From the late 19th century or early 20th, I've also noticed that it is of extraordinary quality. All craftsdwarfship is of the finest quality. Perhaps a real luxury item back in its era. I will continue my research. Get well soon. Hugs and kisses, Sebastian P. Husha. There were no survivors. The virus attached itself to the AEC2 receptors, which are in testicles, lungs, guts, and brains, and they're finding out men who are both symptomatic and asymptomatic don't have usable sperm after, but they don't know it's permanent forever. Yeah, that's the other fun thing, is people are like, yeah, you mean, like, I'm of the age where I'm gonna be just fine, I'm not gonna die. But they're also forgetting that this is a virus, and viruses don't leave. Like, if you got chickenpox as a child, and 50 years later, you have a very stressful day, you'll have shingles appear. And shingles are chickenpox from the past coming to haunt you. And a lot of viruses do that. I mean, the most famous example is, like, herpes. Regardless of which simplex of herpes you get, like, if you have a stressful day, the herpes virus will come... Ooh, that's a jiggly thing. Sir? Sir, I'm gonna need you to calm down. Have you been drinking tonight, sir? Are you on drugs? What is this thing shaking? Is it like a boiler? I think it might be a boiler. Anyway. Viruses, they stick with you, and their symptoms come back. So herpes, you know, even if you get the normal type, the not super bad type, it's with you for life, and you'll get cold sores every once in a while. And for this thing, we're already starting to get reports that, like, you might have respiratory tract infections more frequently. You're gonna have problems with your sperm. Like, there are long-term debilitating effects. Apparently your heart is also not a big fan of catching this thing. Right, there's the one other door that I didn't check. Yeah, Kawasaki syndrome has been a thing that's been coming up. Which is why it's like the height of irresponsibility to be like, yeah, we're gonna force a bunch of children who are natural disease vectors at the best of times into small, confined locations. I'm sure nothing will go wrong, it'll be fine. Not to mention the fact that, like, we're also going to be sending people back to college, which is going to be a situation of flying a bunch of people from states that are doing things relatively well into states that are doing things very poorly, and vice versa. So, like, Massachusetts, it's doing things pretty well, our numbers are pretty low, but come the school year, we're going to be flying in people from states like Florida, where it's a trash fire. This chat is scarier than the game right now, I know. I didn't mean to bring us on a downer conversation. I just worry about these kind of things. Interior flats. A, Isaac Farber. B, Marley Rangel. C, the Gibbs family. Oh, you're in Florida. Yeah, you guys have some real bad numbers these days. We're all gonna die. Mumps killed your memory. B cells makes you susceptible to illness you're immune to. I mean, fuck, I got a case of pneumonia years ago, and now I have, like, a persistent cough from, like, the most minor of things. You know, allergies, they make me cough. I catch a cold, welcome to respiratory tract infection land. Like, these aren't things you catch and then they just go away. There are long-term repercussions, and this is a new virus, so we don't know them all. So I hate when people are so dismissive. Where it's just like, no, whatever, man, I'm too tough. I'm not gonna be, I'll be fine. It's like, you literally don't know. We have people who study these things for a living. Maybe listen to them. You watch every date as your state kills more people because your trash governor is trash. One of my favorite authors, Jeff Vandermeer, lives in Florida. Thank you very much for the follow, Star Wars Mad 45. I like your username. Welcome to Shake the Box family. Happy to have you here. Jeff Vandermeer lives in Florida, and every day he's on Facebook like, our governor is one of the stupidest people ever to exist. Just like, boy, he hates that guy. It's something metallic and half buried in rubbish. Should I take it? Yes. A silver Koltar coin. Hey, we already got 2 out of 3. Things are looking up. God, this guy is... like, look at his shoulder width. Some angles see, like, oh, he's buff. Look at how wide his arms are, his biceps. This guy looks like a normal cop from certain angles, and then, like, you get others, and it's like, he's secretly a pro wrestler, and he will rip this shirt off at some point and bring someone to Pain Town. Oh, I gotta put him in the Koltar machine, yeah! Gardening tools and little else. Nothing that draws my attention at first glance. I'm sure we're gonna be heading back inside at some point with all those locked doors that are in there. Old bicycles, abandoned perhaps, depending on what neighborhood they're in. They could have been stolen long ago. You vote me for spokesperson? People would understand better if you explained it. Like, none of these are totally original ideas of mine. A lot of this is just reading things online and, like, seeing good counterexamples and like, oh yeah, that's a great way of explaining it. And then I just get frustrated that, like, these aren't things that are used to help people understand more often. He can violate so many rights. That's like his whole wrestling shtick, is he's a bad cop.
Nope.
Looks like somebody here is parked illegally. Oh no, look out, look out! Okay, let's start checking some of these doors so we can get some locked or unlocked symbols on my screen. Locked. Locked. And 2 more doors. Okay, I should really be listening more often. Arrest me harder, daddy. Oh god. Someone lock this door. How dare they? Like, he's trying to just casually enter. These are apartment buildings. We know there's 3 distinct apartments here, one of which is inhabited by the guy who owns the antique shop we just went through. But, like, these 2 are, like, privately owned units, and he's just trying to walk in. He's not even knocking. This is a bad police officer. Or, if you want to be depressed, this is a shockingly common police officer. Oh, I looked in the shed. I said gardening tools. Oh, you mean that big shed right there. Yeah, I wanted to save this for after we went through all the locked doors. Table in there might have something useful on it. If only I can get inside. Oh, there we go. He's got quotas of me. Get off his back. What a depressing chat we've had today, huh? Don't even get me started on this conversation line. The door is jammed and the locks are all rusted up. It sat here unused for a few months, no doubt. I felt threatened, says man who's the only person in room with gun. Ooh, that's a spooky tone. I'm a big fan of, like, spooky audio in games. Part of why I have such fond memories of Corpse Party, which is a game we should definitely do on stream one day. With the caveat that everyone watching would have to wear headphones. Corpse Party uses binaural audio, and it mixes it into its music, so, like, it's one of those, like, alternating tones that you don't really notice, but it makes you feel uncomfortable. It does such a good job. Like, you're just sitting there, and it's like, I don't know why, but, like, I feel upset right now. And it's because it's piping through this binaural audio. End of shift report. Date, 11 August 1998. The most dangerous character in the game besides the presence is the cop. I wish I knew that before I picked him. You don't usually get sick. You got super sick as a baby. Everyone got sick, but you didn't. Peck of dirt a day. I mean, you should never let something like that cloud your judgment, is my response there. Because I used to be very not sick. Like, I was the kind of person where I didn't get sick ever, and my family would get sick. And I would just, like, laugh it off. And it's like, I'm immune to sick. I never get sick. I'm always healthy. Doesn't matter what I do. And then, like, you get one really bad thing like pneumonia, which was, it all, like, kind of rolled off of a bunch of other bad things that were going on, so I was extra susceptible to it. And from that point forward, like, I've been sick all the time. Yeah, it's like, it's what Creedmoor said. Like, it's essentially confirmation bias. Like, you've established a pattern for yourself, and now you're like, there we go. I have a pattern. I could prove that I don't get sick, and I'm going to extend that into the future. But all it takes is one bad day to ruin the rest of your life. Shift night. Time submitted 7 a.m. Agent Sullivan, Walter, code 09534. Incidents. 10:38 p.m. While on rounds, I detected a small leak in one of the water pipes. I placed a bucket under it and sent a notice to the building's insurers. 1:13 a.m. I hear someone pounding on the main door coming from outside. I approach and ask who's there, with no response. The pounding stops. When I open up, I see nobody in the street. 4:40 a.m. I think I hear a melody playing behind me. I go out into the inner courtyard and find Mr. Isaac Farber, barefoot and wearing nothing but a pair of blue pajamas. His eyes are closed, and in his hands he is holding a music box which plays as he walks slowly. He ignores me when I call to him and enters the door leading to his shop. Did not follow up. That's also very true. You don't want to be the kind of person who isn't sick but is a disease-spreading vector. You don't want to be a typhoid Odin, alright? The reason why we have a term, Typhoid Mary, is because we had someone who didn't have a sickness but was spreading typhoid. What we got in here? I see. This degree sounds legit.
Nope.
Dorman's locked. Dried up plants, nothing too unusual. B31, Jan Norton, Kimberly Fernandez, Anderson Warner. I wonder if these will come up later. I assume. Rational Wiki, nice. Before I exit this room, might as well look around a little bit more. Uh-oh, heartbeat. Yep, she didn't wash her hands and killed multiple families because she wouldn't recognize that she could be sick and spreading without having symptoms. Sometimes important lessons are learned through very tragic means. A set of keys left in plain sight of everyone displays a huge lack of professionalism, though I won't deny it comes in quite handy for me. Not skilled enough to hook the keys using just the hanger by itself. I don't think I have anything I can combine with the hanger yet. Because of reasons. Door is closed with an anti-theft mechanism in a nice, thick setting too. The neighborhood's quiet, but I'd better stay safe. Alright, so... I'm guessing that just, is a dead end. It's not showing up on the map as like a lock or anything. Or what else was probably a dirty city. She thought the doctor who asked her for her poop was implying she was dirty because she was Irish. I mean, it was that time in history where people were not particularly kind to the Irish. I missed a door down here? Excuse me. I saw a ghost. I don't think this works now, right? No. She could never cook again. She probably didn't take that terribly well, or yeah.
No way.
Alright, door's blocked. Alright, so we have a few... Man, I've certainly established a lot of locked doors. If I could find something to attach to my coat hanger, we could get the key that's in there. Yeah, residential access. Looking to see if there's any doors I missed. Did I do the stairs on exterior there? Can't tell if I did the stairs for exterior. Well, better safe than sorry. I might just pop back in there right quick. Door's jammed. Right. That's a dead end. It's true, Sally's right. The book might not change, but interpretations for the book definitely change. Doesn't stop people from being like, oh yes, my views are based on this, and they've never changed. It's like, no, they've changed quite a bit. Interpretations are very fluid throughout time. You're just using this as an excuse. I went the wrong way for the exterior access I was trying. Oh, that's how I got in here, never mind. I was reading the map like a lunatic would read a map. Alright, let's get out of here. Some of the places in this episode that you get marked as locked reset back to unlocked because of a glitch. Oh boy. That's gonna confuse me. Can I do that again? When was the last time this lift was serviced? If someone were in there. Well, that, doesn't bode well. Three to a seat, good lord. That is not great. Not great. Not great, Bob. Well, it's gonna be an interesting, interesting time in a couple of months. When the results of all these bad decisions fully come to fruition. Keep him focused, he gets lost easily. That reminds me. I don't know how that reminded me. There's an expansion to that Metroidvania game we played that the name is escaping me. Not Bloodstained, which you would think would be how I remembered. The one that was like, Dark Souls, but Catholic Guilt. What the hell is the name of that one? That has an expansion we should check out at some point. Oh, don't worry about it, Blood. Blasphemy! Thank you. Yeah, we should check out the expansion of Blasphemy. Or Blasphemous. Whichever it was called. Also, there's, the expansion to Super Hot, which would be fun to check out at some point. A message dropped down. Let's see what sort of nonsense it says. Prediction from the Kultar machine. There is something you forgot. Remember and be blessed. Well, that doesn't help me. Oh! Message dropped down. Let's see what sort of nonsense this one says. Play and win, play and lose. Having doubts, go right through. Damn it, Zoltar! Sorry, Goltar. God. Spray bottle. Examine. Dangerous substance. Not sure how to use the dangerous spray bottle. We need something that combines with this. Really not sure how to pull that one off. You're gonna enjoy some Dark Souls? Have fun playing Dark Souls. That was Zoltar. There's the button there that we need a key for. Got another thing over here that we can't use just yet. High security steel lock. That didn't work last time. And that doesn't work either. My father's dangerous spray bottle. I wonder if it's loaded. Nope! I could quote anything he says for days. I love him. I need a thing. I don't know where to go, though. Every door is either blocked, inaccessible from the other side, or locked. If I had one more thing I could combine with my... I don't even remember where to get the thing you need, but you know what you need. I imagine it's something I combine with my... with my clothing... my hook! My clothing hook. Need to go back to those IT crowd episodes? I love the IT crowd. Creedmoor, are you a cat? What kind of cat's father would have a dangerous spray bottle? It's like an anti-cat cat. Alright, we're gonna be playing the game of rub your face on all the things. So, buckle up. We gotta find an item. Get the Japanese sword and use that. Did I go this way? Yeah, it's a joke from the IT crowd. Season 2 opens with a character taking over for his father, and he's sitting at his father's desk, and he opens the drawer and he finds a gun, and he goes, "My father's old revolver! My father's old service revolver! I wonder if it's loaded!" Click. Nope! Just puts it in his mouth and pulls the trigger. Right, that door's locked. That is Matt Berry, who is a phenomenal actor. If you want to see one of his more current shows, he is in What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show. And he is so very good in it. He's so funny. You laugh every time Chris makes that joke. As the same person. Like, my favorite thing about Matt Berry is a lot of what his acting is just him talking funny. Looking at like something that looks like a postcard. No, he's not actually playing the same person. He's very much playing a different character, but he talks exactly the same. They call me Jackie Daytona. I'm a free spirit who plays by his own rules. And if you want to hear him in a video game context, he does the voiceover work for Worms Reloaded, I believe. No, Worms Total Warfare, I think. Where he plays a scientist who's like, "Oh, the majestic worm! These little annelids will go on crazy adventures! Let's watch and see what happens!" Love the episode where he starts dating the reporter he thinks is from Iran. Why don't we get hot wings and eat them in bed? You're the best. You know exactly what I want to do when I want to do it. God damn it, where's this item? Alright, since you guys are watching, and I imagine you don't want to watch me rub my bearded face against every surface in this game, I'm going to do a quick little Google search for Song of Horror Chapter 2. We're gonna figure out where we pick up the second item. Walkthrough and guides for video games. Wow, well that was a useless thing I clicked on. I just want to look up where we find this item so we can stroll off into the future here. We got the thick key, we got the hanger. We got the spray bottle. We got the silver coal tar coin. I got the bronze Coulter coin. Cellar stairway. The door across from the entrance door is locked from the other side. Go down the stairs and pick up the ornament on the floor below. The thick key. Oh, that key is so thick, man. I'm looking for a magnet. The magnet's on the other side of the ornament. So we're looking for the ornament which has the magnet. Door across from the entrance door is locked from the cellar side. Go down the stairs and pick up the ornament. Oh, it was down those stairs I went down earlier. How did I miss it? That's kind of confusing. This way. Literally at the top of the guide it says, don't use the cop first. Hey, I only just looked at the guide just now. It's not my fault. I think this is the stairway they're talking about. Yeah, that looks right. Ornament. Ornament? Need to find the key. Where's the ornament, though? You saw the gun and pulled the trigger. I did. I thought to myself, yeah, this is a man who could protect himself. Where the heck's the ornament? It's supposed to be down here. I definitely don't have an ornament. What? This is the picture I'm looking at right now. In the guide I'm looking at a picture of him standing right here, looking at the floor. But in their screenshot, there's an item on the floor. I must have missed something earlier. Step through the double doors and attempt to grab the item on the grating. Ah, we knocked something down these grates. Don't still work on ghosts. You don't know that until you try. They do work on mirrors? Wait, I could shoot mirrors in this game? Do I have miners? You can. They do work on miners. Unfortunately, yes, that is something we've learned. Way to make it depressing. So far I have the gun, the 2 Coulter items, a hanger, and a spray bottle. So what we missed is when we were outside earlier, there was an item we could have knocked into the grating. So we need to go back outside. How's it going, Gomper? You missed some real fun conversations earlier. I got to the courtyard by going through that door. Alright. Working on a nursery. Now, I know that you're expecting a child, and therefore the type of nursery you were saying is the room where a baby goes. I'm going to choose to interpret this as you are getting into the game of raising plants, and you're building a nursery for those plants. That's the headcanon I've established here. Gotcha, gotcha. Straight through the heart. There, look, right there. I walked over it. Whoops! Down it goes.
So clumsy.
Babies require a lot of heat and water.
I must get down to the cellar if I want to get my hands on that now.
Just like as if you were doing an illegal grow up. Those also require a lot of heat and water. Or I guess it could be a legal grow up. It's 2020. Depending on your state, you might be allowed to grow the devil's cabbage. I believe in my state, you're allowed to grow up to 6 of the devil's cabbages. Assuming you have the proper licensing for it. so clumsy, he says. He says the same thing when he shoots innocents. Ah. So depressing. You prefer to roast them and then boil them. They are tender enough. Nice. You're supposed to bury babies in blankets and water. Water them from time to time. You don't know. You haven't taken the classes yet. You gotta get on that. I do like his accent. It's sexy. Ooh, a little cutscene. We didn't have this last time.
What was that?
Someone behind him? Damn.
Through a reinforced door like this, I will never be able to hear a ding.
Never been here, ting. Oh, right, he's from the Caribbean, it said, right? That's why he has that accent.